And really the most important thing is learning to allow your melody, whatever it is you're trying to create, learning to allow it to breathe, adding musicality, and again, focusing on a proper tone. Now, when I say proper tone, I don't mean you got to run out and buy a bunch of gear. That's not what I mean. I mean manipulating what it is that you do have. But let's just think about this for a second. If I was in the key of C, let's say I was trying to create something that sounded more like a C sound. Now, always remember, when we're trying to create a melody or we're writing something or whatever it might be, the chord structures that we're using make a really big difference in what the outcome is going to be for that melody. The thicker we stack that chord with voicings, the more colorful it becomes. But sometimes what happens is it becomes so colorful that it really has so many of the notes that we could have utilized in our melody. So let's say instead of doing something like C7, if I do a C7, it's already got that kind of bluesy kind of sound to it. So let's say, just taking a C chord. And what I'm going to do with this C chord is I'm going to convert this into something a little bit more unique to try and solo over. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here and I'm going to play 3, 5, 0, 5, 0. So I've got doubles of that fifth and then doubles of that third right there. And it's just real airy sounding. Where it tends to sound a little bit more compact. This sounds a little bit more open. Okay? So what I want to do now is I'm going to take that, and the first thing I'm going to do right there is you're going to notice I'm going to do a slide from 4 to 5. I'm in the key of C major. Again, I'm in no hurry, and I'm not just going to start off by going... I'm not going to do that yet. I just want to slide in. And then you'll notice right there, I'm heading up to the note G. And then I'm adding a nice, relaxed, subtle vibrato. And then right there, I'm making more of a scalular thing that's kind of intertwining. Notice how it goes down, comes back up. And then I do a slide here from 5 to 7. And then I head back down to the 5, which is the C, right? So over this C sound right here, now, the rhythm that I'm going to use is completely open to interpretation. I could do anything. If I wanted to keep it a little more kind of like that. You see? And you'll notice right there, I did that twice. And I might do, and maybe double some notes, right? So again, you've got the tab here, obviously you can look at, but what I want you to think about is always learning to embellish the ideas. So when you learn something from me or anybody else, it isn't about the notes that you're playing, although the notes are certainly creating that melody, right? You want to think about all of the isms that make it sound more authentic, more musical, more real. Because when we play oftentimes and we're going, again, I'm not making fun of anything, but if we're going, it's hard to get that to sound real. Now, it might be impressive to, our family or something like that, but to really get to the next level, the goal is you got to learn to relax and back down a little bit. Now, what I want you to notice too, as far as tone goes, is I've got... You can hear that reverb, and there's a little subtle delay in there. Okay? Maybe not so subtle delay, but there's a delay in there too. Now, what I like about that is, number one, what I always make sure is my delay and reverb is always much less in volume than my actual guitar tone. They're not battling. So it's not like the delay is so loud that, when I play, you hear this delay overlapping what I'm trying to do. As I play, the delay isn't affecting anything. It's not getting in the way. It's in the background. Okay. But what I like about having a moderate-sized wash, if you will, of delay and reverb is that it gives me this space, like I'm playing in a hall or an auditorium, and it allows me to want to leave a little more space when I play. See, right there, I don't need to play. I'm still playing even though I'm not playing because that reverb is taking up space. So if you think about it like that in your head, you can stop playing and the note is still existing, right? And what's nice about that is it gives you more space so you don't always feel like you have to play. When I was younger, and again, very misled and never used any effects whatsoever in terms of reverb or delay and things like that, and always scared of overusing it. Like that was my thing, was I heard so many players that just hid behind those sounds. And it drove me crazy because that's not what playing's all about. Playing is about your ability. It's not about hiding behind effects and things like that. But in my being misled about that sort of thing, I never used it. So now if we take that same thing, now it's still a really nice melody, but it sounds less full. It sounds less real. And if you thought about a Joe Satriani or a John Petrucci or whoever, insert name here, they're all going to use that in a melody like this. Now, again, if I was playing extremely fast or something like that, maybe I wouldn't have this on there, but maybe I would. But for this kind of melody, it's really nice. See how long that is? But yet it's still not evasive. It's not in the way, right? And I want you to think about that. So when you're soloing, right? Now I'm in the key of C here, so... right? Whatever it might be. Let's go to this without that seventh in there. So it's taking up that space. And that's something else I really want you to understand. When you're writing melodies, it's nice to be able to dial in. You'll notice my guitar tone isn't way overdriven. Right? I could even go to a single coil. Right? Whatever it is I'd like. All of that comes from there. So understand that your melody isn't just the notes that you choose, it's the application that you use in terms of the dynamics that you're playing, the space that you're leaving, and certainly the tone that you're creating, the ambience that you're creating around that. So think